Everyone, it's Terry over at Decorate and More with Tip. Welcome back to Decorate with us. Today we decided to come into the kitchen and share with you how we decorate our countertops. Now I am not the only cook in this kitchen, so I got to keep in mind that Mr. Tip doesn't like a lot of fuss. He doesn't like to move a lot of things to get his job done, so I have to keep that in mind. So my kitchen will not win any awards on the prettiest kitchen there is, but it is functional, and I hope you do get some inspiration on my video today. Okay, we're going to start on this area right here. We do have a plug-in right here. This is used a lot. We keep a night light here when we go to bed, and Mr. Tip charges his cell phone here, so I have to keep that open. Would I like to hide it? Yes. But it is a functional piece on the counter, so I have to keep that exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color to the backdrop here with an easel and this large platter. This platter I purchased in Kirkland's many years ago. They're no longer probably available, but I'm sure you can find a pretty platter of your choice. But I am going to place this on this easel. This just gives it a little bit of color. It's not going to be knocked off or anything. The easel is pretty sturdy, and it does give him access to the plug-in. I'm going to add this vase that I found in Kirkland's. It's still available, and a plant that I found in TJ Maxx. I'm going to add that to the vase here. It just gives it some texture and some greenery, and place it in front of the platter. And I'm going to add this candle just to the side of it and call it done. We still have some work area here if need. Also, the plug-in is available for him to charge his phone and us to put the nightlight on. So let's move on to the next area. Next area I want to work with is this middle section of our counter. This is a working space. We do use this, so I don't want to fill it up with decor pieces, but I do want to give it something because it is the center of our countertop. So I am going to add a frame to the backsplash here. It has a little sawtooth picture hanger, and I have a little nail right here on the backsplash, so I can hang this up with no problem, and it will not fall. I am not one to use command hooks because I've had them fall, and I don't want it to fall, break, or if we're in the middle of cooking and it falls in our food. So I just placed a nail, a small nail, on the backsplash. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to decorate it. I'm just going to leave that sign right there. Let's go to the corner now. So in this corner, it is pretty deep. We have a corner cabinet, so I can decorate it without even disturbing the work area. So that's a plus for me. So, and I am sorry about the glare of the light, but we do not have any natural light in this room, so I have to keep the overhead light. Another thing that I want to apologize is we normally have puck lighting on, but my puck lighting doesn't have batteries. They're dead. So I didn't realize that until this morning when I was shooting my video and I was turning them on and they wouldn't turn on. All of them, I have to change the batteries out, so I apologize. But normally these are pretty well lit when I have my puck lighting on. So let's start with the corner here. So what I'm going to do first is add my lamp here. I do not like cords at all. They're a pet peeve of mine, one of them. But anyway, so what I did is I took a rubber band, wrapped the cord around, and then wrapped it around. I took the lampshade off and wrapped the rubber band around the post of the lamp, so it is short and it won't lay on my countertop. And I am going to plug it in, and that way you don't see the cords on your countertop. So I'm just going to place that right here, and this plug-in we don't use because it's so far back. So I can hide it with the lamp. Next, what I'm going to do is add my chalk decor chalkboard DIY. I shared this with you up on my blog a week ago or so. If you want to know how I created this, just let me know and I'll give you the link below. So I'm going to add that right next to the lamp. Thing I want to do is add this cutting board. I found this at Kirkland's. It was on clearance. I love the color of the cutting board. It goes nicely with my lamp. And I'm going to use this as a tray and just sit this on the other side of the lamp. The cutting board, I want to add this picture I found at Old Time Pottery for $6.99 and a bundle of ivy. I'm going to stick that inside the pitcher there and sit it on the cutting board. Then I found these bowls at Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance, $1.49 for both of them. I placed a little paper towel inside the larger one and just sat this to where it raised up on one side, and add a faux pear to the bowls and sit that on the cutting board as well. And then 2 more faux pears I'm going to sit in front. So that's all I'm going to do on that corner. So let's move on to the next space. So here we have another plug-in. This is something we use all the time, plus it has my switch to my cabinet, so I have to keep this open. I do not want to cover it up. So I am going to add my canister. We are an oatmeal type family. I love my oatmeal for breakfast. And I purchased this canister at Walmart. They have different sizes. I got the largest and added my oatmeal. And I'm going just to place this in front of the light switch. It's still functional, but it kind of camouflages it a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do there. The next area is right here by the stove. This is a must. I have to keep this open. So we're going to decorate it with functional things that we use and maybe just a little pretty things too. To start off, I am going to add some cutting boards. And I'm going to be honest with you, these cutting boards don't get used. My cutting boards that I use for my vegetables and my meat, they are tucked in a cabinet. They're not pretty and they're not for show at all, but I do love cutting boards. So these are just for looks. And I am going to place them just on the wall, giving it a layered look. And then my cutting board that I found this at Kirkland's several years ago and I still use it. It's still in good condition. And I place this for if we put spoons or whatever from cooking. This is something we use all the time, so I like to keep this here. In front of the cutting board, I keep our wooden spoons. We do use these, as you could tell. Some are some are used more often than the others. But I just placed all my wooden spoons into a little canister, my mud pie canister. I took the lid off of the smallest one and added the spoons to that. So I'm going to place that to one side of my cutting boards. And then my mud pie salt and pepper shakers. I found these at Tuesday Mornings. And I'm going to place those right here on the other side of my wooden spoons. And just to give it a little of greenery, I'm going to add this little succulent I found at TJ Maxx. It was $4.99. And I think the design kind of mimics just a little of the mud pie. So I want to place that right there. I just like a touch of little green with the whites and the woods. So I'm going to call that done. I still have some work area here. These are functional. We do use a salt and pepper shaker. We do use the wooden spoons. And we do use our hot plate. So it is functional. So let's move on to the other side of the stove. I wanted to mention on my stove, I don't like to put a lot of things on it because we'd have to move it when we cook. But in the wintertime, I do put my little teapot here because I do like my hot tea. So, but in the summertime, I put it up. So I will have that down on my stove in the wintertime, but normally my stove is just kept clean. I like that look. I don't want to put a bunch of stuff on there for me just to have to move it when we cook. So that's what my stove looks like on a normal basis. Okay, on this side is not used as much, so I like to house my mixer, my cookbooks, and just a little bit of decoration. So let's get started on this side. So I do have my KitchenAid mixer. I love this thing. I use it quite often. So I like to keep it out, and I just place it on the counter like that. And a little bit of color since it's white. I add a pretty kitchen towel to the bowl. I change it out with the season, but normally I do like to keep a dish towel here. To decorate just a little bit of this wall, I am going to add my Yum sign. I found this on Amazon. I do have a lot of my items linked on my Amazon storefront. So click on the link that I provide and it will take you over to my kitchen and it will give you all of my items I'm using or something similar. So I hope you go check that out. But I'm going to place this Yum on the backsplash same way. I just added a little nail to the backsplash, and there I have. I can change that out as the seasons changes. So the next thing I want to do is I am going to add this in Cracker Barrel, and I just love it. So I am going to add this on my counter, and I am hiding this a little bit because we have, if you could see it, we have a plug-in here that I use all the time. So I can hide that and get by with that. And then I'm going to add a cookbook to the holder here. So I have my cookbook and my mixer and my Yum sign. Next, what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of greenery. I am going to take a pail that I found at Old Time Pottery and a little topiary I found at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to place that inside the pail and place that in front of the mixer. And this area is done. Now we're going to start decorating by the sink area. So in this area here, I do use a lot. I place all the dirty dishes that I'm going to be rinsing and putting them in the dishwasher or washing. So what I do is I try to keep this as clean as I can. But I do use my diffuser here. I like to keep my diffuser right here by the sink. I have it plugged in behind the refrigerator so I don't have to worry about the plug-in showing all the time. There's another plug-in that we have to keep exposed because it has our garbage disposal switch here. We don't really use the two plug-ins because I keep my diffuser here and it's plugged in behind our refrigerator, but I still have to keep it exposed. So the first thing I want to add to the corner is my towel ring. These are usually found in the bathroom, but I love the looks of a pretty dish towel, knitted dishcloths hanging from these. I got this idea from a YouTuber, At Home with Nikki. She did this and I loved it, so I copied it from her. So I love placing this in the corner. It hides the space between the refrigerator and the wall just a little bit. I like that. And then I place my diffuser next to it. And then I have a place, I have a bamboo tray and a ceramic white tray that I layered together. And I like to put this right here. And I add my hand soap and a pretty greenery on it. The reason why I just don't sit it on my granite countertop, because if it gets wet and it has soap, it can stain your granite. So I like to put it on a tray. Plus it looks pretty. And I found this greenery at TJ Maxx. I just added a little blue ribbon to it to give it a little bit of color. So I sit that right there. I still get to the switch of our garbage disposal and the plug-in. So that's all I placed in this corner here, just because, like I said, I like to keep this open so I can put my dirty dishes on. So in this whole area is where I house our Keurig. I do not drink coffee, but Mr. Tip does. So I kind of keep this as clean as possible because we do make our salads here and some other prep work. So this area here also needs to be functional to cook. So what I do is I keep my paper towel holder. My neighbor had one of these and I loved it, so she went and got me one as well. I did paint mine white. I placed this under the cabinets close to the sink, so when we wash our hands or we're done doing the dishes, we can take our paper towels as easy as that. I like to keep our little brush in our cup next to the sink, so I just add it to the corner right there, and then my paper towel holder. A little more pop of color. I am going to add a vase of pretty flowers right next to the paper towel holder, and that'll be calling it done. Another plug-in we do have a lot of plug-ins, which I love, where I plug in my cell phone, and this is the light for the breakfast bar, and this is the light for under the sink. So we do use these all the time. So this has to be kept open. I cannot hide it. Now to this area here, I keep it simple as well because this is Mr. Tip's area. He's the only one that drinks coffee. So what I like to do is just kind of dress it up just a little bit. I have my little towel ladder here that I place next to the Keurig just to give it color, and I also add seasonal towels as the season changes. And then in front of the ladder, I have a little container with all of his Sweet and Low for his coffee. I just place that in front of the ladder. And I have a little decorative mug to keep here for color, and I change that out as the season changes as well. So that's all I have on this side of the sink. I try to make it as cute as can be without any fuss. And that's it. I hope you enjoy watching me decorate my countertops. I hope you get inspired. Remember to go up to my page and sign up if you haven't for my blog, Decorating More with Tip, and start following my page. I would love to have you each and every time I post a video or a post for the day. So I hope you all have a great day. God bless.
Don't know what's wrong, but something isn't right. Don't feel I belong in the light. Passion has gone and love's taken flight. Things just feel heavy tonight. I'm tasting no tears, I'm fighting no fears, but still there's a hole in my heart. Not on my own, but I feel it sometimes. Wondering what should I do? For reasons unknown, I don't need to decide. It's true that I don't have a clue. I'm tasting no tears, I'm fighting no fears, but still there's a hole in my heart. I'm wasting no apart. Don't know what's wrong, something isn't right. I feel like